What is good, YouTube? I'm back again with another video. Let's get into it right now, bro. Ooh, let me position myself properly. Okay. How to ruin your 20s in 3 easy steps, you guys. Let's get into the video. Let's see what's going on. Let's see how to ruin our 20s.
Congratulations, you're wasting the best years of your life, and you don't even know it yet. You're in your 20s, which means you're biologically at your peak, culturally disposable, and psychologically convinced you're immortal. It's the perfect storm. But don't worry, there's still time to mess things up even more. Today, we're going to explore 3 scientifically backed.
Let me say something about my 20s, yeah? I will say that, do I feel like I'm wasting my 20s? Sometimes, because there's so much that's going on at this stage in your life. Like, sometimes I'm like, am I doing the right thing? Am I messing up my life? Even making YouTube videos, the fact that I kind of had to stop school, not because of my own will, but because of, life is crazy. And now I'm making YouTube videos. It has me like, oh my gosh, am I cooked? But, if you're cooked, you're cooked. And if you're going to be successful, you're going to be successful.
I'm tested in culturally reinforced ways to absolutely wreck your 20s. And if you're doing just fine, that's probably the worst sign of all. Step number 1, chase status over skills. Let's be honest, in your 20s, no one really cares who you are. They care what you look like, what you earn, and what you post. So it makes sense that so many guys dive headfirst into chasing status. Fast money, passive income, fantasies, and endless be your own boss mantras shouted by 22-year-olds who just leased a BMW. But here's the reality. According to the University of Illinois Chicago, more and more people in their 20s are facing what's called a quarter-life crisis. A deep...
You guys, that's me right now. And I use YouTube videos to cope.
Struggle tied to identity, career pressure, and the feeling of falling behind. When you're busy curating an image instead of building skills, you set yourself up for this exact kind of collapse. Because you're trying to look successful, not become successful. And it gets worse. Most guys hit their 30s with no real leverage. No rare skills, no portfolio, just a clean Instagram grid and a closet full of depreciating sneakers. Real skills, like programming, sales, design, leadership, take time and patience. They don't trend on TikTok, but they buy you long-term freedom. But hey, who needs freedom when you can get dopamine hits from fake guru reels and finance bros selling $500 courses on how to invest like a millionaire?
I feel like the internet, I don't know, bro. There was no internet before, There was no internet like 30 years ago. Maybe I'm wrong. But I just feel like the way the world is going to look, when we are in our 30s, because I'm obviously Gen Z, when Gen Z is in their 30s and 40s, I truly believe that there will be a lot of bombs. Because, bro, people just be on their phones, and I'm guilty, I'm guilty. The fact that I'm even making content makes me a little bit better, but people just be on their phones, watching YouTube, doing nothing, watching Netflix. There was no Netflix 30, 40 years ago, so I feel like people were more focused, people were more locked in. But then now, bro, jeez, sometimes I was at the grocery store, and after the story, I'm going to just let the video play. I was at the grocery store the other day, and someone saw me, and she was like, "Oh, Dio, what are you doing this weekend?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm working on YouTube videos." And she's like, "Damn, anytime she sees me, she feels like I should be doing more." And I'm like, "Damn, I feel like I should be doing more, But yeah.
Bottom line, if you chase status instead of substance, you're not building a life, you're building a performance. And one day, the audience stops clapping. If chasing status can ruin your career, this next move might just sabotage your brain. It doesn't cost money, doesn't need approval, and feels amazing at first. Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 40. Step number 2, avoid all discomfort like the plug. Just lie down, open...
Guys, this is a big one. This is a big one. This is a big one. Men and women, bro. Like, when I see my friends or just people that I know living their best life, you know, traveling, like, and I'm not saying, like, live your life, enjoy your life, like, do whatever it is you want to do, have fun, like, you're only young once. But then there was this one time I was talking to a girl. I say that all the time. I'm always talking to girls. But she was like, I just want to say a life of ease. A life of ease. A life of ease. I'm like, babes. You know, babes. That's not the way to go. Like, you know, in your 20s, you actually have to, like, need to grind, bro. But then, who am I to tell a woman what to do? Or anybody else what to do? You know, I'm just Dyer.
Phone and avoid anything that feels even slightly difficult. You know what's better than working out, reading a book, or facing your fears? Scrolling for hours while lying in bed and telling yourself you are recharging. We've built a culture where comfort is a moral right, and anything that causes tension, such as effort, failure, boredom, is seen as trauma. But here's what neuroscience actually says. The brain forms new connections when you challenge it, learning a new skill, practicing under pressure, pushing past resistance. Dopamine, a neurotransmitter linked to motivation, is released not just by rewards, but by the pursuit of challenge. Translation: every time you skip the gym, avoid the difficult conversation, or postpone learning that second language, you teach your brain that growth is unsafe. And let's be honest, it's not self-care, it's Netflix, vapes, 3 a.m. snacks, and a TikTok feed designed to hypnotize you into submission. Bottom line, if you keep avoiding friction, don't be surprised when your 20s feel like a loading screen that never ends. Yeah, at some point, you have to ask yourself a hard question. Are you actually living your life or just reacting to it on autopilot? Most of us aren't making decisions. We're just avoiding pain, choosing the easy route, defaulting to comfort, and hoping things somehow improve. That's not growth, that's stagnation with a Wi-Fi connection. If any part of this video feels like it's calling you out, it probably is. But that's not a bad thing, that's your signal. So, you've skipped building real skills and dodged all forms of discomfort. What's next? Time to construct your personal relationships like a game of drug Jenga. Unstable, unplanned, and destined to...
It makes me really wonder. I really wonder, like, what the next 5-10 years is going to look like, bro. I really wonder, bro. I really wonder. Like, right now, I will say, I'm not in the best, like, life situation right now. And it is not due to my fault. It's not due to my doing. It's just my life circumstance. And I see, like, how, like, I can be comfortable right now and just chilling. Like, I do make enough money to, like, pay all my bills and do nothing else. And, like, I could just be chilling. But every single day I wake up and I'm like, bro, like, I need to grind. Like, I need to make something for myself. Hence why I am making these YouTube videos, you know. But I'm telling you that lots of people don't see life that way. Again, I'm not one to judge, but being comfortable, bro. Anytime I feel like I'm being comfortable, like, my body just starts itchy, bro. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I need to do something.
Apps. Step number 3, build relationships like a drunk Jenga tower. You'd think we'd invest more time into who we date, sleep with, or try to build a life alongside, but nope. Modern gaming apps have gamified romance, turning it into a slot machine of swipes and dopamine hits. According to Pew Research Center, 63% of men under 30 are single, compared to just 34% of women. Emotional depth? Conflict resolution? Please. These days, relationship skills mean ghost fast, trauma bond faster, and fall in love with someone's Instagram handle. And when something finally feels real, you don't lean in, you freak out. You start pulling away, picking fights, disappearing for days. Why? Because no one ever taught you that intimacy isn't a trap. You've been taught to keep it chill, casual, and not attached.
Hey, I'm saving big with TD Insurance for being a claims-free hybrid driving university grad.
As if love was a liability and showing feelings meant you lost. But here's the truth, emotional detachment isn't strength. It's self-protection with a price tag, and the cost is real connection. Add to that the fact that young men are less likely to seek therapy, express emotions, or form deep friendships. And what you get is a generation of guys who are emotionally online but spiritually offline. The result? A sea of people drowning in loneliness, clinging to their phones like life rafts, wondering why they still feel empty even with 300 matches. And this kind of emotional disconnection doesn't just kill your love life, it follows you to job interviews, to teams, to leadership roles. If you want to understand why employers are starting to back away from Gen Z, yeah, we dug into that in another video. Watch it after this one. Check the link in the description.
Well, low-key lazy, man. Well, low-key lazy. Well, low-key, we are lazy, bro. We are. And oh my god, I love talking about YouTube so much. If I think about, like, let's use YouTube for example, bro. YouTube is a grind, okay? You actually have to show up every single day and post something, you know. You have to be as consistent as possible, or your art has to be very, 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 very good. A lot of people in 2020, 2021 started YouTube channels, but a lot of people fell off because they just gave up, you know. They saw that it was hard, so they just gave up. But like, if you actually put your head down and grind this, you can be successful. And that's also with anything and everything, you know. But with that being said, I feel like we want something for nothing. A lot of people want something for nothing. Like, and I pay attention to people that want something for nothing. It has me like, bro, you don't want to grind. You don't want to like put the time in. I find that like the only time something is worth having is actually when you sacrifice some time and you know you go hard. But then, you know, when I talk like this, people look at me like I'm a bozo, like I'm weird. So look at me like I'm weird, guys.
Final thought? If your whole dating life fits in a you up text and a couple fire emojis, you're not looking for love. You're just trying not to feel alone tonight. And bonus round? Step 4. The quietest, deadliest mistake of them all. You've ignored skills, dodged discomfort, ruined your relationships, and now you top it all off by pretending your brain is totally fine while everything inside you is quietly falling apart. For a lot of young men, mental health is the final taboo. You can talk about crypto losses, your gym PRs, even embarrassing Tinder stories, but say, I'm not okay. Silence. Who needs therapy when you have caffeine, sarcasm, and a long list of things you refuse to talk about? But here's the deal. Ignoring mental health doesn't make you strong, it just makes you quiet. And eventually, it makes you numb. Real masculinity isn't about bottling things up, it's about having the guts to face what's going on inside before it explodes. Bottom line? You can either talk to someone now or scream into a pillow in your 30s and call it coping. Your move. So now, you know the formula, it's simple. Chase status, avoid effort, build chaotic relationships, and never ever admit you're struggling.
Bro, building chaotic relationships, like, I'm telling you that, like, bro, I think when I was like 19, 20, 21, chaos. I started to snap out of it like 22, 23, 24, bro. That's when I was like, oh, I don't like this, I don't like that. I don't like this about myself, I don't like that about myself. But I find that like a lot of people find it hard to like look at themselves in the mirror and be like, oh, I'm wrong for this. Like, I could be doing better. And lots of people find it hard. But me, bro, it didn't even take me too long. It did not take me too long at all.
Follow those 4 steps and you won't just ruin your 20s, you'll sleepwalk through them, only to wake up at 30 wondering where your life went. But here's the twist. You're not stuck, your 20s aren't over, and the story you're in, you're still the one writing it. Start building skills, lean into discomfort, open up in your relationships, and stop acting like your mental health is optional. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to be awake. So, which step hit you hardest? Be honest.
Alright, guys. So that is how to ruin your 20s, according to who made this video? Hold up, chill. Who made this video? Novatoria. Let's give this video a like. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm coming through every day.